IVM.
Hello, welcome to another awesome episode of IVM Likes. I'm your host Antariksh. Joining me on this episode are my fellow producers Sumit Pandey and Jalasmi Hathi. Jalasmi Hathi is a weird surname, man, to say out loud. I just had
I
to
know
say.
that. I know that. It's okay.
Yeah.
Hi Antariksh, how are you?
All good, man. How's it going, Jalasmi? Sumit, what's happening?
It's going
Great.
good.
Great. Diwali vibes.
What are your plans for Diwali, guys? What's happening? Diwali weekend coming up?
Yeah, I'm to just gonna spend it in my hometown. आराम से chill. वहाँ पे
Nice,
laddu
you're going back
uddu.
home.
I'm excited for laddu chuda farsan. Very excited for that.
Okay, nice.
I made
Cool.
some. I'll get in the office.
Okay, you
But you
made
have
some
to
laddu
come to
chura.
office for that. By the way, our offices are open.
Oh yeah, Jalasmi is now back at work at the office in Mumbai, in our car office.
Almost back.
O-
Hey, you are
only
also in
jealous.
Mumbai only.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, no, our listeners don't know. I could be anywhere from Mauritius.
बाप रे.
All right. So on this episode, we are going to be talking about. So there's like a slew of cop movies coming out this month. There's Antim starring Salman Khan, the big movie that I don't know. I think they pushed the date of the movie to help Akshay Kumar Suryavanshi, let that do the Diwali business or something. So maybe I don't know if Antim is coming out this year anymore, this month anymore. But Akshay Kumar's Suryavanshi, which is from the Rohchatti Cop universe, which also has Simba and Singham in it. And then there's John Abraham, Satyameva Jayate 2, in which I think he's one of the characters he's playing is a cop or something, or is a double role.
He's double
Yeah,
role
I
in
think he
that.
has a double role
He has
this
a double
time.
role, right? Yeah. And also Bunty or Bubbly 2 is coming,
Oh yeah.
which will also have a cop in it, which will be chasing
Oh,
the Bunty or
fuck.
Bubbly, because that's how it goes.
And even the main lead changed, right?
Saif Ali Khan, yeah. Saif Ali
Yeah,
Khan,
I'm
not
also
Abhishek
wondering
Bachchan.
why is there no Abhishek
Why?
Bachchan in
हाँ
Bunty or
यार.
Bubbly too?
He was cool in that, you know.
It was
Yeah,
damn
it
cool,
was
dude. That was a
super
good role.
cool.
Dude, so
Yeah.
many classic songs. We talked about on the last episode of IVM Likes as well, about all these
Right.
movies coming out. So yeah, there are so many cop movies coming out. So it made me think, dude, we have a history of so many cop movies in Bollywood. Like so many in Bollywood. And Jalasmi tells me in South India also, which she will tell us about. And also, of course, in Hollywood, there are so many police officer movies where the main police officers play the main roles, are the main characters, the protagonists of the film. Something like, why is this genre of movies so popular? What are some of our favorites that we remember fondly from growing up? And firstly, why is there so many of these kind of movies? So all of that coming up on this episode right after this very short break.
$100. That's all it takes to begin your journey with Bitcoin and Ethereum. No, really. With CoinSwitch, you can start investing in over 100 cryptocurrencies with just 100 rupees. On top of that, there are zero charges for deposits and withdrawals, so you can trade, buy, sell, however and whenever you want. All of this, plus their extremely intuitive interface, makes CoinSwitch the perfect app for beginners in the crypto space. But don't take my word for it. Just download CoinSwitch for free and try it out for yourself. If you'd like more information on cryptocurrencies, tune into a show about crypto with me, Rohan Joshi, my new adventure on IVM podcasts. CoinSwitch, kuch to badlega.
All right, and we're back. We're talking about cop films. I was wrong in saying cop film genre because the genre can be different. It's just the cops play the protagonist of these films. And firstly, guys, why do you think there are so many cop films that exist? I can literally, I think, count like 10 off the top of my head, and like even while I'm sleeping, I think. So, what's up?
And I think this genre, like not genre, but this kind of the type of movies it's been going on from like Amitabh Bachchan's time. Zanjeer was the movie where he was cop. I don't know.
Yeah,
wha-
so
Zanjeer.
many
it
movies.
was,
He's
yeah.
been a cop in so many movies.
Yeah, and
And he
that
has to
is
have
good.
been. He's been done so many roles.
Yeah, I think people like to see the vigilante side of the
Of
character.
police officers.
Yeah, police officers like justice. Yay, want to find something like that. So maybe people love that thing. I don't know. Just a wild guess.
Yeah, I also think it's
Yeah.
because there are so many crimes happening in India and it just gives a lot of story. And
Of
to
course.
make that story come alive on screen, it's another like really cool thing to do.
So yeah, man, cops. So cops have been in movies since time immemorial. I wonder which was the first cop movie that was ever made. Like in the sense, the cop was the main character. That could be interesting. Maybe like some sheriff must have been some sheriff western or something must have been, right? I don't know. I'm just thinking. I should have done a little bit more research about that. I just thought of it right now. But So yeah, what I think is it's about like an authority thing. Like you give a man authority. So they say that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? So it's usually what happens is that in a lot of these movies, it is the policeman who has the power. He is sometimes corruptible, sometimes incorruptible, but he is always fighting a power which is more corrupt than him, right? In whatever way. So it's like a sticking it to the man kind of thing. Also, it's also it's often an underdog story. These cop stories where the cops are the underdogs. They aren't. They aren't always the do-gooders. They aren't always the whitewashed. At least in Hollywood, I'm thinking. I think in Bollywood, now that I think about it, a lot of cops are like Dhoot Se Dula. At least in the '90s movies, the Sunil Shetty, Gopi Kishan, for instance. One of them is a proper Dhoot Se Dula, and the other one is whatever. So a lot of things. I think the authority has a big thing, I think in it for me. So we'll talk about some of our favorites, of course. But these movies have some very peculiar traits, like very common traits that you can see in a lot of these films. Some of them, we might even say cliches to some extent. But of course, there are movies that break these cliches that we're going to be talking about. Like, for instance, Mardani, Rani Mukherjee's Mardani, is one that doesn't really adhere to too many of these cop cliches. So so that's why I think cop movies are here to stay for the most part, and they'll be made till time immemorial. Because again, dude, they're freaking cool, man. It's cool to see a cool cop. You know what I mean? It's very often very cool to see like a cop just. I don't know. It's gonna sound very brutal, but like just shoot someone because they can. It's very therapeutic in a way, because I'm sure we all have to want to kill someone. And if I was a police officer,
Therapeutic.
some of you guys would be dead. I'm just saying. No, you wouldn't. I wouldn't be a police officer. Anyway, so we're gonna be talking about some of our favorites. But a lot of these movies have like very peculiar traits, very common like cliches, you could say. Of course, there are some that break away from the mold, like Rani Mukherjee's Mardani, as you were talking about before.
Even Article 15.
Article
Ayushmann-
15 completely breaks the mold. Yes,
Ayushmann's character.
yeah, and to some extent, there are movies that have broken the mold. Basically, is what I'm saying. But a very common trait in these movies is that our hero is a superhero. Basically, our main cop protagonist is he can dodge bullets, in the sense bullets can't touch him because everyone else is just bad at aiming for some reason. Like all the havaldars and all the criminals goons are always bad at aiming. The only person who's actually good or at least halfway decent is our cop and the main villain.
The main
probably.
villain. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. That also is also another cliche is that, dude. So like they have like established like this world, right? The entire movie they would have established this world of cops and robbers and thieves or whatever, guddas or the bad guys, and everyone basically has a gun, dude, in this world. But it always still comes down to a fist fight for the most part. I don't think I'm wrong in saying this. In almost every cop movie, there's a fist fight at the end. And yeah, the final blow might be someone finds a gun. There was one bullet in the gun, shoots the bullet or something like that. Or they get impaled or something. The villain gets impaled on something, some construction site somewhere, that could be the end. But
Also,
it's always a fist fight.
one more I just got in mind. So every cop movie, before the starts off with very the cop is very chill and this that. Like in the halfway of the movie, the moment he sees some injustice around him,
Because
suddenly his justice, the sense of justice, like
arises,
it arises. Yes.
awakens.
Yeah, awakens, and now he's a full like जिससे रिश्वत लिया है उसी के
Which is wrong. अगर रिश्वत लिया है तो नहीं, that is wrong.
नमक खाया है.
Have you guys ever bribed cops, by the way?
That is a very
Personal question. In
Yeah,
India, dude, in
Not
India,
me.
everyone has bribed a cop for
Of course.
sure, dude. You think the cliche in movies is a wrong cliche? No,
No,
it's a
no,
cliche
it
for a
is.
reason, dude.
It is.
Everyone-
It
I
is
remember-
reality.
I
And you know-
haven't. I
What are you
haven't.
saying?
What?
You have never bribed
I
a cop?
can't. I don't have the ability to do that. I'll
What does that
feel
mean?
guilty by just the thought of it. So I'm like, nahi
Wow,
hoga
dude.
humse.
Like
Commendable. Wow.
that's
I remember
very
at
shocking.
At a show, I was this is like 3 years back, okay? Aziz Ansari, comedian Aziz Ansari was in India, and he was doing some secret shows at Cuckoo Club in Bandra, okay, at the time. And we were all comics, and we were sitting in the balcony area of Cuckoo Club, and Aziz at one point basically asks the audience a couple of nights before he had some cop scenes at some show where his shows went overtime. Okay, so cops showed up because they were like, okay, this is like way beyond a business can't be open till this like 2 a.m. or something. And so basically he was telling us, okay, they ended up whatever, like in some way they gave the cops some alcohol or something like that, and the cops went away. Okay, what Aziz told us, and then he asks the audience. So, how many of you here have never bribed a police officer? Nobody raised their hand. Dude. Every
Jalasmi should
single
have
person
been there.
Huh? Jalasi should have been there to break that statistic. So, see, what I'm saying is like the cliches of unreliable politicians and corrupt police officers is a cliche for a reason. Like there is some truth to it that we all have experienced, and there's no longer a surprise when we see that on screen. It actually is a surprise when they break the mold. When there's a good politician, like, dude, why can't our politicians be like that?
If there's a good politician, people will be more suspicious to him rather than the
Yeah,
corrupt
correct.
one.
Oh, piche. Oh, what is he doing
Like,
behind closed
if he's
doors?
very white collar and if he's very
Yeah.
very righteous in nature, people will doubt that person first. The mindset right now, it's on those lines.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. That's almost exclusively the case. So what are the cliches can you guys think of?
I can think of two. One is usually either the cop's best friend or his brother or somebody in his family will be the corrupt person. Like in most cases.
Like it could be a fellow police officer also, like
तो
someone he
fellow
knows,
police officer
someone
मतलब
in his circle.
पुलिस में कोई ना कोई तो होता ही ऐसा
Yeah,
who
correct,
is a little truant.
Yeah.
But usually it's the brother. Even in Dabang, you see Arbaz Khan's character. He's also one gone case. Then there are other, there could be somebody else in the family who kind of backstabs them. This is also seen in a lot of films. One big cliche is the health and fitness that they show. I mean, I'm not trying to body shame anybody, but if you see our regular everyday cops, not from TV or shows, but they are. I mean, let's
Basically,
just
they
face
don't
it,
have
they are
abs.
unfit.
They don't have abs.
It's not just about abs. I mean, you see Singham. Does he have any mental health issues? He lives in like a decent house and everything. But if you actually go to see, most of the regular police people, they don't have such good facilities.
Definitely.
And, they don't have enough training. I doubt there is enough staff also to handle like a city like Bombay.
In movies, no, more often than not, either cops are like super fit, right? Or they go the complete opposite direction, where their cop is like comically fat, which is like, dude, that's not gonna happen, man.
Yeah, like that guy from Kahani.
Yeah, exactly. There are so many examples again that I'm sure we can come up with. But yeah, there's a good cop, bad cop cliche. Like when we're talking about buddy cop movies, right? Of course, there is a good cop, bad cop. And I love buddy cop movies, by the way. One of my favorite type of movies, and some of my favorite movies are buddy cop movies. Like Main Khiladi To Nadi. Love that movie. It's not a typical buddy cop movie because not both of them are police officers. One of them, Saif Ali Khan's character, is an actor who is following Akshay Kumar's police officer character around because Saif Ali Khan is researching a police officer's role. So what happens? What entails a police officer's role? So he's following him around. But it's a cool buddy cop movie because Saif Ali Khan gets involved in the case, as inevitably these things tend to go. And yeah, so I like that. Then Starsky and Hutch. I don't know if you guys are aware of this movie. It's a movie starring Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson. And Snoop Dogg is also a cool character in this movie, which is very few movies he acts in. But yeah, this is a very, very cool one. So yeah, they play like two police officers. One of them is more laid back. One of them is more like by the book kind of guy, He's like, always like by the book. I'm never gonna break laws. I'm my own man. I'm never gonna be corrupt and all that shit. And they get come together and solve a case. And
there's
I
also
love these kind of
Sacred
stories.
Games. So there's
Sacred
Sartaj
Games, yep,
Singh
Saif Ali
and
Sardar Singh. I
I
can have
think
that.
Kaitonde was his name, right?
No, Gaitonde was
Kaitonde
the
was
villain.
Nawazuddin's character.
Sartaj Singh was his name.
Sartaj Singh was Saif, but he had that best friend guy, the other cop.
Doifode. What?
Mazhar,
No, it's
Azhar,
not Doifode.
Azhar.
No,
Wait,
no,
what?
dude. The Maharashtrian police officer who was his friend, no. In
Oh,
Sacred Games.
Salaskar. Wait, no.
Yeah. Salaskar is his name.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was Salaskar. That was our dear sound producer, Rishi, just stepping in because you were all struggling with that name. And he knew it. Thanks, Rishi. Thanks.
Katekar. It was Katekar.
Even Rishi, you you betrayed us, dude.
No, Salaskar was a real
So
life
many
guy.
cops. So many cops in this universe.
Oh God.
This is confusing.
But yeah, the if you want to see a closer to realistic example of the real life cop that we know was Katekar. I think the kind of house he lived in,
Yeah,
the
true.
kind of situations he faced, Sacred Games comes close. Yeah.
Also, I just like to mention this point. Like movies are like they are like what they are portraying. That's there. Like the cliches are there. But what is coming on OTT platforms such as like Sacred Games or Patal Lok, the character of
They are
Jaidev,
properly breaking cliches.
they
They're
are
properly like, yeah,
they are actually sticking to like
more
reality.
closer to life reality
Yeah,
stories.
yeah, yeah, very much, very much. And I really love that part. Like when you show certain profession, they're actually sticking to that, the everyday life, the everyday routine, the everyday challenges, problems.
Hey, how was Delhi Crime? I've heard Delhi Crime is pretty great. I'm not
Delhi
sure.
Yeah,
Crime,
Telegram is good.
it's good. Even I heard of
Even
it.
that's like
Yeah.
a police officer who's following this case, right?
Yeah.
Based on true events. Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
We don't have many good examples of female cops in movies, especially in Bollywood.
Hmm.
You know, like you said, it's only Mardani that you've been
Yeah.
quoting since the last time, since we started recording. Is there any other film that really comes to mind
That's
when it
true.
comes to, female cops?
I have.
There is
Uh,
Tabu in Drishyam.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but it's not such a strong character. It's actually a male centric film with
Correct.
Tabu as a character, and most often they are seen in a very comical way. Like there's this show on Sub
FIR.
Oh,
FIR, yeah.
Yes.
FIR.
Kavita Kaushik playing Chandramukhi Chautala.
Yeah.
Then there are films where you have Neetu Chandra. There's one, two, three. Just Neetu Chandra also plays a cop, and
Oh,
there
yeah.
are a lot of other films.
1 to 3 is
but-
such a bad film though.
Eh,
yeah.
Dude, you know what? That's what are the odds you would bring that movie up? The movie's called 1 to 3. I have seen it thrice, literally. Because once I
God.
saw it in the theater with friends, okay. Then once I saw it at home with my parents, and the third time I saw it, I forgot how, dude. But I've seen it thrice, and it was like very clear in my head. But what a terrible, terrible, terrible movie. Oh god. But yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so coming back again, talking about female cops, there's also Bipasha Basu in Dhoom 2, but she's been sexualized in the movie so much that no, I mean, that's not how you portray a female cop. So yeah, OTT and all, they might be closer to reality, but as the female represent here, I think female cops should be shown
yeah,
and
I agree.
like in a better way.
There's also the cliche of the female love interest in cop movies, where she basically won't have a role. She'll have just like this token lines. She'll be there for the token
Yeah.
scenes.
She'll be a table lamp.
Yeah, basically she is there to
Support.
support, and also like at the end of the movie, when the cop guy is struggling basically to fight back with his villain guy, and the woman will
Himmat
like
dene ke
you
liye.
get images himmat dene ke liye. Yeah, she'll be there. Sometimes she'll be the one kidnapped. She'll be the damsel in distress, right? So yeah, the women are very terribly used. I get what you mean. Absolutely. There was one movie. Which movie was that, dude? Was it Tapsi Pannu in that Akshay
Baby.
Kumar movie in Baby, which she had
Yes.
that fucking
Oh,
awesome
that
action
Oh,
sequence.
yeah.
she wasn't a cop exactly. She was more like
Okay, yeah, that's a secret agent movie.
Detective.
Yeah.
secret agent sort of.
Yeah, again, so that is also something I want to bring up, that we are again talking about cops and not secret agents. Like 007 does not apply, for
Yeah.
instance, because again, I guess we can do another episode for that, because those are like a whole separate set of cliches, like the super hot lady, like the boy in the Bond lady kind of thing. But yeah. So yeah, the Tapsi one was great, but again, not a cop. No. So what other cliches? Like I know a few is one more I can think of off the top of my head is the going rogue wala cliche, where at some point in the movie, our main cop will be like very frustrated with the way police departments work and maybe the
The
slowness of the
system
system.
works.
You know,
Yeah.
the system.
Yeah.
Like get fed up with the system, and he'll try to like go off the books, or he like get suspended because he's like such a already like a cannon, like a loose cannon. So he gets suspended. Hand in your badge, give me your gun, get out of my sight. You're suspended indefinitely without pay or whatever, what have you. Okay, and then the police officer will go rogue because he'll be like, F the system. I'm gonna cure society's norm or whatever problems by myself. I'm gonna fight
I'm
the
gonna
bad
bring
guy,
some justice.
bring justice my own way with my own hands. Also, that's not how justice works. If a random citizen just brought a criminal in, they can't just take.
I
the
mean,
criminal
yeah,
in.
the clip.
Yeah. It's just not how it works, dude. I don't think, at least. I don't know if that how it goes.
And one more I just like crossed my mind. So every time a police officer gets some kind of evidence, like a person, a witness basically to that particular crime,
They'll die.
before reaching out to court, he always
Very
die.
often. Very often. Very
He
often.
always die. Like
Very
what?
often.
I mean, this is joke or
Like,
what?
how is it so easy to kill
हाँ,
witnesses?
I mean,
Yeah.
and उसके पहले तक he was just roaming around on streets. Okay, the same guy. That time तो उसको कुछ नहीं बोला, but the time this cop gets in touch with him, his life is in danger, dude.
Sorry, boss. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, dude. Again, like basically, a lot of these cop films show us the ineffectuality of the police department. Basically, like, agar someone is under witness protection, that means that person is almost definitely gonna die. There's no point in witness protection. Basically, is this basically what it
It's
is?
like a spotlight to death.
Yeah, correct, exactly.
Here's your target.
Yeah. Also, the one-man army. So, like, the going rogue thing is like one thing, but then also the one-man army thing, where say in Singham or something, right? Our guy Salman Khan is all Salman Khan needs to win the day, basically. Yeah, Arbaz Khan's character might help, might not help, up to Arbaz Khan's character. But Singham is the dude, man. The rest of the police department is not really important that much.
But hero तो एक ही होता है ना.
Yeah, exactly. Hero to ek hi hota hai. Oh, also another cliche that we wanted to talk about. Sumit sent me this article about how, and it is so true. Of course, we've all known this, but in cop movies, basically, they normalize police brutality to like next level, dude.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
Yeah,
police
they do.
brutality, nobody cares. No questions are asked. Nobody is like, "Arey, kaise kar sakte ho? How can you just hit someone?" Like, it's expected the cop is gonna hit someone. Even police killings are quite normalized in movies. It's just crazy to even say out loud, but it's so
It
true.
is as common as taking a bribe.
It's
in
literally
all
as
the
common.
movies.
Dude, I would say even more common as taking a bribe. Because see, even the non-corrupt police officer will beat up for all like small things, Okay, vardi pe, whatever. Again, doesn't always apply to real life police officers. These are all the movie cliches you're talking about, of course. I'm sure there are a lot of police officers in the real world who are highly respectable and great at their job. But why don't we hear about them? I'm just joking. Sorry. Okay. What are some of your favorite movies that you remember? Again, I've already talked about My Khiladi To Anari, which is one of my absolute favorites. Sadly, there are a few scenes in that movie which are slightly like haven't aged well. For instance, there's a scene and it's all done under like a comedy backdrop, like a soundtrack going on. So it's intended as a comedy scene. But there's a scene where Akshay Kumar wakes up in his bed, naked, okay, and his bed is empty, okay. But then he realizes he goes to his drawing room where Shilpa Shetty is crying, okay, and it's all comedy backdrop, and he's led to believe that he basically forced himself onto Shilpa Shetty the previous night. But it's all taken as comedy, and then Shilpa Shetty starts laughing like, "Oh, I was just playing with you and all." But it's all taken as comedy, dude. This is what comedy used to be. And I'm like, dude, what is this? Is insane.
The 90s. This
Yeah,
was the
this is
90s.
the 90s. So yeah, some scenes haven't aged well, but as a whole, I would say it's a very cool, fun movie. I also talked about Starsky and Hutch. So what were some of the movies that you guys would like to talk about?
My favorite like cop thing, which is like very real to the bone, is Patal Lok. Like hands down to that. It's amazingly like well crafted. The character is amazingly portrayed by Jaideep, and like all of these things are like very perfect to their nature. So that is like one of
So
my.
again,
like,
can you tell us a
favorite.
little bit more about Patal Lok? Because I have not seen it, man.
So Patal Lok is basically a chase between police officer and a serial killer. Okay, that is there. The story is so huge that I really cannot justify it at the moment. But it is basically the chase between the police and this killer. How he identifies the problem in the system. The journey of that thing as well. So it's definitely like whenever you have the chance, do watch it. Yeah.
It's in Amazon Prime, right?
It's on it's on
Yeah,
Amazon
and it's a
Prime.
very short series, if I'm not wrong. Like 6 and 8 episodes.
No, yeah, like a 9 episodes, but
okay, fair enough. Yeah,
the
yeah,
duration
watch it.
is like 40-50 minutes.
Okay, fair enough. There are tons of movies that I can talk about. So Jalasmi?
So the first ever film that I watched in the theaters was Mission Kashmir, and I mean I was too young
Yeah,
at that
Jackie
time.
Shroff's character is a great cop in that movie, dude.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jackie Shroff?
No, it's
Is
Sanjay
there
Dutt.
Sanjay Dutt, bro.
Sorry, Sanjay Dutt. Sorry, Jackie Shroff
is playing the villain, like he's
terrorist,
playing the
terrorist, yeah.
terrorist.
Yeah.
But Sanjay Dutt has
I remember
done
that
a
movie
great
starts
role.
with a great slow, scary kind of song, which is Dhua, Dhua.
Yeah, it's basically
Dhua.
2000 ke time ka Kashmir,
Yeah.
when there was a lot of conflict going on.
Yeah.
And I mean, Sanjay Dutt is playing a cop who is trying to, get rid of terrorism. There's a scene. So basically, the plot is that Hrithik character, I think he plays the adopted son of Sanjay Dutt.
Huh.
And when he learns that, Ritik's father, who was a terrorist, was killed by Sanjay Dutt, and how the entire sequence of events plays out, and the kind of emotions that he portrays, I think that is peak Sanjay Dutt. He's done a really good role at that time. And to play a cop in Kashmir who has who loves his child, but the child doesn't love him back because of what he did to the father, who has a wife he's always concerned about, trying to be. Yeah, so basically, he's just portrayed it too well. Then, obviously, I really like Mardani. I love the last scene where she just, takes out a knife from her shoes and kills that politician guy. I think it was really cool, and we need more female cops like this. I mean, come on, it's 2021. There are so many women in the police force now.
Yeah.
Then I really like the character of I don't remember, but it was played by Parambrata Chatterjee in Kahani. The guy who helps Vidya Balan find, not exactly find, but finish her mission. Is such a kind, benevolent cop. And that's also one of the ways how cops should be. So, yes, he was brave, but at the same time, he was kind enough to take her around the city. There was a place where he had a crush on her. ऐसे movie में लगता है, but no, otherwise I think that was a very well played character. Another cop character is Aamir Khan from Sarfarosh.
Oh,
That
yes.
was
Sarfarosh is
too
great.
good.
Yes.
What a
Like,
movie,
just
dude.
iconic and
Fantastic.
legendary.
Legend.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, Sonali Bendra's
But
character
again, also
has
that
his-
movie also, I would say, that makes a lot of cliches, man. Now that I think about it, Sarfarosh.
Yeah, Sonali Bendra's
Sonali
character
Bain's
has his
character, she's
love
actually
interest.
important even. She's actually like
Yeah.
a great character in the movie. And good
Yeah.
song also. And Nazaruddin Shah is great in that movie.
Even
Fuck
that the side character, the Muslim person, he
Yeah.
between the system and the cliche part.
Vivek Kishore,
that-
his name is? No.
I don't know, but he's very damn nice character.
Yeah.
He's done a good
So
job.
even Sarfarosh, so even they've played like there's a lot of communalism, religion wala angle
Angle.
bhi hai, but
Yeah.
the film was too good. Did you all know that Thakur was an ex-cop in Sholay? Kabbar ne uske haath kaat diye. uske
Yeah, of
बाद.
course.
yeah.
we
But
know,
yeah,
of course,
even that was a very cool character. Although I don't like Sholay. Hashtag unpopular opinion, but it's okay. Then one more really nice character was, have you all seen Force? Where
Ah,
John Abraham plays
yeah.
somebody like
I'm
police bureau, but narcotics.
Narcotics, more
dealing
into
with narcotics. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was also a very nice character.
Yeah.
Again, it had that cliche. So Janelia's role, love interest wala role.
There's some great, man. Like Khaki is a
Oh,
full movie about
yeah.
cops. Right?
Yeah.
And everyone's a cop, and then they get betrayed by other people, and things happen.
Amitabh Bachchan and Bunty Bubbly was a very cool cop.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kazrare,
yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, true, man. Also, dude, another movie that I love, but what's his name? Michael Bay. Okay, the director of Transformers made a movie back in early 2000s or late 90s called Bad Boys, starring Will Smith and
Oh, yeah.
Martin Lawrence. Okay, comedian Martin Lawrence. Hilarious movie. Love it. Okay, love Bad Boys. And then it got remade in India into Bade Miyan Chote Miyan, which is also a great movie, dude. I don't mind Bade Miyan Chote Miyan at all. I love that movie because they kind of changed it a little bit because they gave it like double roles kind of thing. The plot was kind of similar, but they added like a double role element and all, and like other things they added to it. Which made it kind of
Plus
quite
the
fun.
cast was very nice.
Dude, yeah,
Amitabh
Amitabh
Bachchan and Govinda.
Govinda, double role.
What a cool combination, dude. to
Correct.
see.
And Paresh Rawal is there. Satish
Ah.
Kaushik is there. Yeah, great
Very
movie.
nice.
Great. There are some Madhuri Dixit plays herself for the song the Kisi Disco Mein. No, that's not the one.
That is
no,
with
that's the
with-
Mere Pyar Kar Zara Rakhna,
Haan.
Oye Makhna, Oye Makhna.
Speaking of Sanjay Dutt being a police officer, I really love his two movies which he played as a cop. One is Kurukshetra.
Of course, yes. Oh,
and
good, great.
Then there is
Great movie.
there is another one, Shootout at Lokhandwala.
Sherlock Holmes again.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Encounter specialist.
Encounter.
Yeah, correct.
But also one example of how to not be a cop, or an example of a terrible cop, would be Uday Chopra in all Doom movies. Don't
He's
be
a cop.
Is
Yes,
he-
you're
is he
right.
a cop?
He's a
Yes, he
cop.
gets after the end
A
of
cop
first
who
movie.
is
he gets-
dubbed as
he gets treated
Dilbara
as a cop.
Dilbara.
Yeah, correct, dude. That is so stupid. Oh God.
Kya
No.
mummy?
Dude, another great movie which shows cops as proper cops. Have you seen Anurag Kashyap's Ugly?
No.
Heard about it.
Ronit Roy plays
Heard
a,
about it,
a
yeah.
fantastic police officer, and dude, what a movie! Also, man, very great movie. Highly recommended. Have you guys seen the TV show True Detective? Of course, yeah.
True, I heard of it, and
You guys haven't
I'll
seen
be
True
one.
Detective? It's starring Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, who
Oh,
play these again disturbed in their own ways police officers, and they are investigating like these occult killings in I'm forgetting I think in Texas, but I'm forgetting the state. But yeah, it's very cool show. Check that out.
speaking of TV shows, like cop TV show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine has
Dude,
to
of
be
course,
there.
fantastic.
Brooklyn
Love
Nine-Nine
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
is like
Love Andy
it's a
Samberg
next
and
level
everything.
story of a cops.
Yeah. The earliest show that I know is a 70s show. Funny cops I'm talking about. Okay, is a 70s show called The Police Squad. It could even be late 60s if I'm not wrong. But The Police Squad starring Leslie Nielsen. Okay, it ran for one season for 6 episodes, but bloody hilarious, dude. Just it's like the epitome of slapstick. You know, a great slapstick comedy. It's super funny. Still holds up to this day. And then that got made into a movie, into a series of films. The Police Squad TV show, because it was so popular, got made into the Naked Gun movies. Then you guys have heard of the Naked Gun movies, I'm sure. No? Okay. I mean, if you're not, then you're not. But again, starring Leslie Nielsen, the same actor. Hilarious. The first Naked Gun movie, dude, still is one of the greatest comedy movies ever. So highly recommend that if you guys are interested in checking out. Just it's a super easy watch. You can just laugh at any point in the movie, dude. It's so good. Yeah. So check out Naked Gun. Great.
Actually, just a question came into my mind. What are your favorite like actors that you like to see as a
In
cop?
cop roles.
Yeah.
Correct. So that was a question I was gonna get to. Like, who do you think has played the most number of cops, like mainstream actors? I know there's an actor who has played a cop the most number of times, and I'll tell you what that actor's name is. But he's not that mainstream. His actor's name is Jagdish Raj Khurana. He's played a police officer 144 times in various Bollywood films. 144 times, dude. Ridiculous. So talk about being typecast. But poor guy. But I'm sure he was like a very successful actor. Man, it sounds so condescending, dude. He was an actor who played a cop 144 times. That's bloody awesome. I don't know why I sound condescending. I'm not being condescending at all. But who do you think from mainstream actors or actors that we would know? Do you think has played the most? I think Akshay Kumar comes to mind as someone who has played multiple times, right? If I'm not wrong.
He has played, I think, role from military to cops most of the
आजकल तो
time.
वही yeah, I
मतलब
remember.
is like even doctor for that. नहीं doctor नहीं है अभी तक, but thank God वो बच गया.
Thank God. Yes.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I can think of like again, मैं कह रहा हूँ, where else is he a cop, man? A lot of Khiladi movies, he's not a cop in any
Then
film.
अरे dude, Rowdy Rathod.
Yeah, Rowdy Rathod, double role.
Rowdy Rathod. Then there is Khiladi 786.
Yeah.
Khiladi 786 is the another big dark movies of Bollywood. That
She is a flop cop.
yeah, very flop cop.
But I think the best cop I've seen in Bollywood so far would be Ayushmann Khurrana from Article 15. Just love that character.
Again, Sanjay Dutt being a cop is amazing. Like
Yeah.
it suits his personality. He carries the role. Like
What are the odds that being a cop suits Sanjay Dutt's personality?
Yeah, I was actually going to point that out, but I'm like, never mind. But yeah, that's true. Even Ajay Devgan, he has a cop's
Oh,
personality.
he has played a cop.
He's actually
Singham, of
like,
course. Then
yeah.
where else has he played a cop, man? I know.
I think Gangajal.
Ganga Jal, yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
Gangajal.
Ganga
I
Jal.
remember watching that film on TV
in
sometime.
there's a movie with Akshay Khanna, no?
Oh yeah, 36 Chinatown. I love that film.
Ajay Devgan?
No, I'm talking about
Akshay
Ajay Devgan and
Khanna,
Akshay
Akshay
Khanna
Khanna.
together.
Oh.
36 Chinatown.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's a lovely
Yeah,
film.
dude, I love that movie. Aashiki mein teri
Dude, that lighter thing. Always.
Yeah. Right. Shahid Kapoor also in that movie.
Even Anil Kapoor plays a cop only in Race.
Yeah, Race 1 is
yeah,
great.
Yeah,
Other
but
two
Race
is-
1 was good. He's eating fruits all the time.
Yeah, that became his character throughout later.
Yeah, but the Race 2
also
and
talking
Race
in
3 में ठंडा
fruit
पड़ गया.
analogies and analogies and all.
Yeah.
Fruit metaphors and all that shit. Yeah.
Did Anil Kapoor played any other cop roles ever? Do you think of?
24, the TV show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But where else? I'm sure he played more, dude. Pukar, was he no, he's a military man in Pukar.
Yeah. Jackie Shroff, I think, played most of the police role. Like
A lot
Ram
of
Lakhan.
police roles.
Then
Yeah, correct.
I just can't
So
think.
another movie that this episode, I think, would be remiss if we did not talk about it. Are you guys fans of Rush Hour?
Oh, of course, dude.
Dude, Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker. The
Best.
first one especially. But
Best.
2 and 3 also are quite good films. But first one is just an ultimate classic.
Rush Hour and Bad Boys, it's like all-time favorites for
All-time favorites,
people who
Yeah.
love this genre.
Love Rush Hour so much. There is a fantastic David Fincher movie. David Fincher is the director of Fight Club. Okay.
Oh.
And other fantastic movies. There's a movie called Seven, starring Morgan Freeman
Morgan Freeman, yeah.
and Brad Pitt as police officers. Okay. And Kevin Spacey. Now I don't know. I don't know if it's fine to watch Kevin Spacey movies anymore, but Kevin Spacey plays this villain basically this serial killer who goes about killing people based on the 7 sins. There are like 7 sins according to the Bible, right? That man is guilty of, like that is whatever, lust and greed and whatever. So he goes around killing like people based on these sins, and it's just a very dark, amazing, mind-bending movie. David Fincher is a fantastic director, so please go check that out. There are a lot of movies. If I have like a few movies that I just mentioned, maybe Blue Streak, starring Martin Freeman. Maybe you have heard of it. It's a pretty great movie. Bad Boys you talked about. Beverly Hills Cop is a great classic.
Oh yeah.
Starring Eddie Murphy. There was
Yeah.
one and there was I think Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 and maybe a third. But I remember the first one being the best from the lot. Then 21 Jump Street with Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. A great, very good movie. Then Johnny English, is he a cop or is he a secret agent?
Johnny English. It's a Bollywood movie.
No, Johnny English, dude. You don't know Johnny English?
No, I
Rowan
don't.
Atkinson. Okay,
No.
screw it. I think it's
Maybe
I think
he's a like detective.
yes, I think it's a detective. Like a
Oh,
secret agent.
he was a detective in some movie, no? Like a James Bond person.
Yeah, that only. That's the movie. Johnny English. That's the movie.
Correct. That's
And in Hindi, the movies that I think we've talked about everything that I had. I had Khaki and Talash. Talash, dude.
Talash, yeah. Aamir Khan again.
Yeah. So
Correct.
again, great. Dude, Aamir Khan has done some good cop movies. Dude. Talash, Sarfarosh. Where else has he been a cop?
No, I don't think so. Uske baad.
Okay, cool. So I think we have kind of covered.
Shah Rukh Khan has never done a cop movie.
Main Hoon Na, dude. Oh, that's a military one. Sorry.
No, he was a military person, and
Yeah.
there is also One Tuka 4, where he sort of played the cop, but no, didn't work out. So he's like, I'll never play a cop. But I'm glad.
Okay, cool.
But I want to take this moment and say, South Indian actors play the hottest cops.
Yes, you watch a lot of South Indian movies. Right?
Yes,
Okay.
because whether it's Talapati Vijay, Surya, Allu Arjun, I mean, what personality? That's how a cop should be. I mean, again, it's a lot of masculinity, and it's a lot of abs and everything, but that's how a cop should be.
You basically love the heroism of
Heroism plus storyline is also very cliche, but just the personality and the way they play that character, it's just too hot. I love it. My dad and I watch this Star Gold Pay, all these dubbed movies just keep coming every day. That's the best thing to do after like a very hectic day. Watch those films, forget everything. It's too good, like just too good.
Hey, you guys remember? There used to be a channel. So I'm 28 years old. You guys are around my age, but there used to be a channel when we were younger. I don't know if it's still around. It used to be called CVO.
Yes.
Yeah, it used to be
Yes.
show like B grade films and all. It used to be damn cool, dude. Some great gems.
Yeah.
You would end up seeing on CVO. So do you remember CVO?
no, I
Okay, no worries. Chalo, Jalasmi
I had a
is-
bad
Jalasmi is
cable
my man.
network.
Okay, great. This was a fantastic episode. Thank you so much. Anything we missed that we should be talking about as well? I think we covered everything that we wanted to cover, and we've been talking for quite a while. So we will end this and see you guys after this break for some awesome quick recommendations.
Hey everybody, it's been a great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cider Says, singer and music composer Osho Jain tells Ciders all about his debut album, SAR. Want to find out all there is about mixed martial arts? On Simplified, Chuck Narantoni and Shrike speak to Siddharth Rao, a national level kickboxer. On All Things Policy, Sapni JK and Megha Pardi join Mihir Mahajan to discuss regulatory initiatives related to the use of AI. And on football, Shivpal, Siva Sapre and Karthik talk about the action-packed game week that it was. Man U, Barcelona and India losing their games on the same day, Mo Salah's hat-trick and a whole lot more. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Cred, Bank of Baroda, Quarter, CoinSwitch, Kuber, Flay Coffee, Intel, Kotak Mahindra Bank, and Oxfam India. Thank you so much for making this possible.
All right, and we're back for a quick recommendations round. Who would like to start us off? Sumit, would you like to start us off with your recommendation, man?
Yeah, definitely. My recommendation, I don't know if I have done that previously, but I would just like to recommend again. It's a 5-piece band, all like progressive alt rock genre music band called Daira. And
Spelling? D-A-Y.
Daira. The lyrics and the music kind of it's amazing. It's very underrated in right now in India, and but they're producing very nice music, very awesome tracks, awesome lyrics for different things like journalism, for our earth conservation, all of these things very nicely portrayed, and like people do need to support these kind of artists, indie artists. So yeah, that's my recommendation for
Cool.
today.
How did you discover them?
My so apparently my childhood friend, he's also a musician,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he
Oh.
got in touch. He happens to be a friend of the lead vocal of this band.
Okay.
So they both chill out, and now this guy, when I met my childhood friend after a long time,
Yeah.
we used to listen to this their song, and suddenly I really felt their music is quite amazing. Like coming such good music in India, especially and in such indie level, that is very nicely done, and the production value is amazing, like in terms of their sound qualities and everything. The all of the elements are very amazing, and somewhere it reminds me of Pink Floyd and other legendary bands. I really love their music.
Oh, very cool. All right, Daira. What about you, Jalasmi?
I want to recommend a series wala song. So recently Kota Factory 2 came out, and there's a very romantic track called Tere Jaisa. It's sung by Kamakshi, Khanna and Vaibhav Bandhoo. Vaibhav is also the music composer for the series. So it's a sort of a ballad, but it's very beautiful. And plus, it's like it's winter. My longtime crush is back in town. I get to see him every day, and then I get to listen to this song. It's just very beautiful.
Wait, is this
La,
true?
la,
Is this
la, la.
crush
Yeah,
thing
it's
true?
true. I'm
Ekdam,
not
ekdam.
making it up.
Oh wow, long time crush is back in town. What if he hears this?
Yes.
What if he
Oh,
hears
it's
this podcast?
okay. It's
He knows.
okay.
He knows he's a long time crush.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you guys are dating, or?
No.
Oh, but he knows
It's
he's long time
ek tarfa
crush.
pyar. Hashtag ek tarfa pyar.
But he knows.
Yeah,
What
of
a
course.
jerk.
I know, yeah.
Men,
What a-
dude, men.
What a guy.
Kya kahe?
Oh, this is Jalasmi telling us about being friend zoned here, dude.
Dude, if you're listening this, please make a move.
That ship
Yeah,
has
buddy.
sailed.
Make a move.
Yeah.
That
buddy.
ship has sailed.
As if I say.
It's okay.
Oh,
Damn.
okay.
Long
Sorry.
time.
Wow. But long time crush. Clearly, Jalasmi still likes him. What is the song again?
It's called Tere Jaisa.
Okay. Wow.
The lyrics are also
Wow.
like too
Eh,
good.
Okay.
Very
great.
cute.
Well, awesome, man. All the very best, Jalasmi, for this and for your love of your life. Okay.
Her
May you guys
reaction
get
is
married.
amazing.
May you have great children together. All right. I would like to recommend.
It's not going to happen. So like just I've accepted the fact. It's okay.
All right. I would like to recommend a stand-up comedian called Roy Wood Jr. Okay, Roy Wood Jr. is a hilarious stand-up comic. He's also a correspondent on the Daily Show with Trevor Noah, and again, very funny individual. He has the new Comedy Central special out, special on Comedy Central. It's called Imperfect Messenger is the name of the special, and from there is a great clip on YouTube from that special, and the clip is called Leonardo DiCaprio is an underrated white ally. And it's a 4-minute clip. Just check out this clip. It's bloody hilarious. So yeah, Roy Wood Jr. and the video is called Leonardo DiCaprio is an underrated white ally. Check it out. thank you so much. That brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you so much, Sumit, Jalasmi, for joining me. Jalasmi, again, I could not wish you all the very best more with all your love interests, and may you
Thank you so
succeed
much.
in all your endeavors.
What if she falls in love with a cop?
I hope you're single
Oh
forever.
my God.
After this episode.
I hope not,
Yeah.
Baba. It's a big
Wait,
responsibility.
what does that guy do? Can you
He's a
tell us?
cinemat.
Okay, tell us off.
cinematographer,
Tell us
budding
off.
cinematographer.
He's a cinematographer. Oh,
और
wow.
कुछ hint चाहिए तुमको? Do you want to just call and tell him?
Is he someone we
बोल
know?
दो
No, Baba. इतना नहीं.
Yeah.
इतना नहीं.
Say his name. Say his name.
It's okay.
Let people troll him. Hey, buddy, you broke Jalasmi's heart.
Oh no, let's not go in that way.
All right. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, guys, with Jalasmi. All right. See you guys soon next week. Bye-bye.
पेश खिदमत है आपकी शान में हमारे अंजुमन से. हाय, आई एम सदफ.
And I'm Arshit. खाने का इतिहास, इकोनॉमिक्स, पॉलिसी, साइकोलॉजी सब है मेन्यू पे.
ओनली ऑन द नानकारी पॉडकास्ट एवरी वेडनेसडे, सिर्फ IVM पॉडकास्ट ऐप या वेबसाइट पर, या फिर जहां से भी आप अपने पॉडकास्ट सुनते हो.
Working Monday to Friday glued to your chair making you feel dull? Worry not. Get your 5-minute weekly dose of travel around the world with postcards from nowhere. Join me every Thursday as I explore the strange, obscure, and fascinating parts of the world and bring out facets of travel you may not have thought of before. You can find us on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcast from.